Finally fixed the plasma cutter. It was cutting crooked and shitty. Changed out the whole new head. It's cut straight now. I just cut these top plates for the C-notch. So we'll get those on there now, bend them, shape them, and throw them on. Get that started. And then I think I just have a little bit more welding on the inside of the frame to do in the C-notch. But once these caps are on, we can cut those center sections out. So gonna jump on getting these shaped. All right, got those all welded up on top. Looking pretty good. Let's see, there we go. In case I never showed anybody before, that's how I bend my metal. Regular old press, something around like an old socket, and just bend it in between the two pieces of a whatever that is, C-channel that holds up the press bottom plate. But yeah, it's not perfect, but get you somewhere better than trying to bend it by hand. Yeah, we'll do the style one right now and turn it into something like that. And we're doing the bottom of the C-notch right there. So, all right, guys, back out in the garage today. We gotta go get a battery. Falling behind on this car. I've had to take a couple days off. Just been so hot out here, and then Father's Day just passed. But I got the airbags all done. The airbag mounts all tacked up, ready to be welded right now. So this is gonna be them. Not too sure if I showed them before, or me even building them. But I'm a little behind on my video editing. I just put a video out last night, and try to do some more editing so I can have another video out again soon. But yeah, so this is how far I've got on these. We're gonna weld them up today, get them painted, get them back on there, so we can mount the airbags. And then we just gotta drill the hole for the airbag mount on the trailing arm. And then once those are drilled, we can mount the airbags. But after that, I gotta figure out the shocks. So I was looking at my shock sizes right now. There's two different sizes I usually use. I just gotta kind of finish putting these on, and then articulate the suspension to see what shock I need, the lengthwise. And then more or less I'll be able to put them on after that. I'll be able to go get them and install shocks after that. But yeah, like I said, I'm falling a little behind on this recording. I'm 3D printing. I'm doing a lot of stuff right now. I've been spending the past 2 days trying to 3D print file, and it's just everything's perfect on it except the tip. So it's hard to do these things, you know. I've been, like I said, working on 3D print, so now I'm back out here. I set the 3D print aside. It's not going to work, so it's a file. It's issued. But yeah, get back to working on this thing. Hopefully you guys like the video so far. Yeah, hopefully we're finishing up here soon. Alright, gonna weld up this side first, then this inside, then the outside, then this inside. Put the key around a little bit. It works. Don't mind my mess now. Last bag now. Pan. Alright, we'll just set up and then we'll flip them. Need to get some new tools. This is my compressor. Good Faithful. Got it for 50 bucks. It's the second time replacing this belt and it's taking a shit already and it's only a week old. Then I gotta take it apart and fix that motor. It's cockeyed like crazy. It's making the belt flip and burn up. So it's time to just stop for a minute, take it apart. I need air the most. I show you, I got the bag mounts all painted up. That one's already on over there. Let's see. I don't know if I can zoom in on that. Here. Let's see. Zoom. Zoom. Guess I have to zoom afterwards. Can't zoom before. But yeah, there it is. Mounted on that side. And I was gonna show you kind of how easy it is to slip it in on this side. Let's see if we get you there. Alright, let's see how easy it is to get it in there. Just kind of slides in. Let's see if it goes down, it'd be a lot easier. But that was pretty fairly easy. Line up your holes. There they are. And there we go. Put a washer on the back. There's a nut. Oh, what's nuts? Let's see if I can get this one on there with the tire on there right now. Alrighty. Obviously I can't tighten this side up right now because I have a tire on there, but when I drop it down in a little bit, I can tighten that up with the impact. And it'll be nice and tight. Yeah, that's how easy it is to throw it in there. Bag goes in here. I'm gonna drop it down right now to where the bar is level. This should be this is level. And when the bar is level, I'll stick the bag in here and see exactly where the hole's gonna go. Or if not, I'll just drop down a little center bob to give me the center mount or center mark. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Yeah, it's pretty simple. bolts in fairly easy. It's gonna be fairly strong once it's all tight. It's wiggling right now because it's loose, but once it's tight, it ain't gonna move. You just got a little finger gap up here just to fit your bolts on. If you want, you can put them on, your bags on here before you even bolt these on, and then stick these on here and bolt them on fine, whichever floats your bolt. But once this is tightened down, it's gonna be a little bit more down, so there'll be more room up there. Right now it's a little up. But yeah, moving on to the next part, drilling this hole. Like I said, I'm gonna mark it right now on both sides and then drill it. And once that's done, I can paint the rest of these and worry about starting to mount the shock. I kind of had to get these on here to figure out where the shock can go. I might end up having to take them back off and putting a little mount right here for the shock. The shock might end up going right here onto the bag bracket for the shock. I'm not too sure yet. Still figuring out the shocks. I would really like it to go up here to the top of the C-notch, but I don't want it to be all up in the floor. So we'll see. As you can tell, C-notch is higher than the floor. I don't have to cut the floor up to put a shock in there. If I could, I would just mount it right here, but that's a really gnarly angle to mount it at. We'll see how it goes. Alright guys, back. So made these two tabs for the bottom trailing arms where the shocks will be bent a little bit right here, and then I'm going to cut them right here just to shorten them up a little bit more, and they'll be going off the bottom of the axle brackets actually, and they'll be welded to those. And then this will be the top shock mount, and it's welded. That little slice right there slips onto the bag bracket, the top bag bracket, and it welds on there, and then the stud goes in there and the shock comes off the stud right here. So that's how I designed that. I made them at 1/4 inch, so they should be pretty stout. And then if I feel like they're gonna bend after I put everything together and watch it go through its articulation, I'll put like a triangle piece back here to stiffen it up. But other than that, I think it should be fine. Gonna clean these up, drill them, cut these down, and bend these, and then get them mounted up. Sorry I'm not showing much right now, but I really just need to hurry up, get this car done. I got music in the background, dogs in the background. I was up till 8 o'clock in the morning working, and then I crashed for a bit, and then back up again working again. And I just got back from going to get sheet metal for the tunnel and the axle tunnel, so we can cut some pieces, bend them, and fit them across those. Hopefully we'll do that in the morning. If I can get these all welded up and the shocks all mounted, everything mounted up there, we'll be able to work on this in the morning and start mounting everything else back up like it was. Airbags, tank, everything that needs to be ran. That's the hopes, but I'm not staying up too late tonight. I gotta go and still drive and run my daughter some things for her fish. Well, yeah, that's where we're at right now though. Past 3 days, it's just been a headache about making these little brackets right here. And first I made these brackets, and I was gonna go off the frame, and then I didn't like that, and then I moved them down, and I tried to play with these down other places, and then I ended up designing these, and I really like this. This is perfect. It hits the floor just a little bit, like you maybe hit a hammer on the bottom of the floor and dimple it up a little bit to fit this. I mean, if you wanted to, you could actually just cut this down, because I mean the shock's 2 inches, so that's why it's 2 inches. But you can dimple that the floor a little bit with the fucking hammer, and you'll be fine. So these are gonna go into the bracket, the bag bracket, and shock will come off of there, and then move across like this to the bottom of the axle bracket, and then it'll be bent so it pops out a little bit away from the axle bracket. And these have little standoffs that they bolt to, and then the shock will stand off on the little standoff. So should be plenty. 1/4 inch. I don't see them bending, I don't think. Like I said, if I do, I'll put a little triangle piece on the back of this one, and if I feel like this one will bend, I could always put like some kind of a brace on the back as well, as on the top or something. But I doubt they will do anything of the sort. So let's go. Keep on moving. Get all these done, cleaned up. Get that other bag bracket off and weld the other one up. The other one's already welded up on there. I don't know if I can see in there right now. Let me turn the light on. There's plug. Great music. I love it. Let's see. Oh. Right. So there it is up there, and you can tell it just barely goes through the floor. I already cut the floor on this one because like I said, I was trying to put the shock up through here, all over the place, and this is where it ended up, right there, just barely grazing the floor. Like I said, you can just literally lift the floor up and it'll move over it, and then that's gonna come back here to that other bracket, and it'll that bracket will come down like that and hold the back of the shock right here, So yeah, that's what that would happen right there. So they hang a little low, but I mean, I gotta do what I gotta do in this situation. I can't find no other smaller shocks. I can't use his shock. His shocks are smaller, but I can't use them because I end up eventually breaking. They'll have a pivot spot like this one does. 2 pivot spots. They're just it's a stud. So the stud would end up eventually breaking, especially since they already. All right, guys, back in the garage today. Made a CAD for another file to cut. There is mosquitoes flying around in here everywhere. Wow. Get away. Oh, spray some poison. Well, yeah, I made it a new file because I just fucked up yesterday and I cut them, and then I had to cut like a ½ inch off of them because I wanted them a little bit shorter for the bottom shock tabs. But I ended up drilling them the wrong, too big. There, I was drilling the shock tab for the top, and it's a little bit bigger, and I totally forgot to change the bit out before I just started drilling the next ones, and drilled them too big. So now they're just a little loose with the 9/16 bolt. So I'm just gonna, I made the design that's already shorter. So this will be my new design that's already shorter, and so I don't have to cut that ½ inch off of them every time. And then I'll redrill it with a 9/16 just to make sure it's right. But man, I messed that up. So let me get this, give me a minute, get this all started up and going, and then we'll cut some pieces. Well, I forgot to come back on here and show them, but there they are cut them, drilled them, bent them already, cleaned them up. Now it's time to install them. We gotta get the axle tabs cleaned up a little bit, where we're gonna weld them at. So simple, easy. I get these with the shocks. The shock I get, it comes with this. So what I do is I put this on here. Okay. And that'll be my shock tab bracket. Pretty cool. So airbag comes down here, shock comes off of here. Oh, see that there? Airbag down here, shock off of here. Should work really good. Now we're gonna bolt this up, figure out where the shock goes on the axle bracket, weld it on. So move it on to the next process. I think I've shown it already. The bag bracket goes on with 2 bolts right on the inside of the frame right here where those 2 bolt holes are. I don't know if these are original on what frames. I'm gonna look it up where these bolts even go to originally and what they are on, because then I know more or less what this bolts up to, what years, makes, models bolts up to. This is a 40 Chevy 2-door. I'm not exactly sure the exact model of it, but a Fleet Master, I believe. So yeah, once I figure that out, I'll know more or less what these will all bolt up to. But so far they're looking really good to bolt up right in here. I think I'm gonna throw a little paint on in the inside right there, so once it's bolted on, it's done. It don't have to come back off. The bag can go up in there and get bolted. Planes. Too many planes. All day. Every day. Alright, there we go. We got the shock mounted up there. I'm obviously gonna cut these down to equal length, or even up to it, and put a washer on it. 1 and 2, just so it doesn't come this way none. But that's what I'll probably end up doing, cutting up to it, putting the washer on it to cap it from coming this way. And who knows, might even put a spacer back there so it don't go that way, but it shouldn't go that way. I got perfect little clearance in there. Yeah, I got clearance up here across from by the frame. Everything's good. That's extended all the way. It has plenty of room. It's pretty good up there. And let me see if I can get out of here. Oh, yeah, works really good. It's a pretty good angle, so it collapses easily and still has pressure. Like I said, airbag will go right in here. I think that's my center mark. Somewhere in there is my center mark, or that's it right there. And yeah, it comes down very nicely in there. Drops down all the way to where the axle's up in here touching, so that's good. And I even gave it a little bit of room for flex, but this shouldn't
that shouldn't move once that's welded solid. That's just tacked on there right now, and it's holding the whole rear end up. So once it's welded solid, it's gonna hold. It's a 1/4 inch plate. All right, got my shock tabs welded on both sides. Kind of welded a few passes over this and then grinded them back smooth, so they look kind of like they're part of the bracket instead of just welded on. Kind of like that look better. The back I didn't worry about so much. You're not going to see that too much, and when you do, you see a little weld bead. It's all right. But the sides, I wanted them to be smooth. If you see it from the side or anything like that, back, whatever, it looks good. There's our planes as normal. Buzz over. Yeah. So last night I got the floor cut out for the tunnel. I might have to cut a little more or just hammer a little bit more. The drive shaft ends up hitting kind of the side of the floor down over that way. The motor's crooked and the transmission's crooked in the car, kind of like this instead of straight, kind of like this, which is making the drive shaft come over to that side and hit the floor. He wants to worry about that, or he wants me to check it out, fix it too probably. So we'll worry about that later, but right now we're just trying to button this up. Got to paint these. Then I could start pretty much bolting everything back together. I painted the trailing arms over there, they're drying. And all right, got my tabs welded on, smoothed them out nice and smooth. They look like they're part of it. Painted them, they're on there. Kind of see that they're a little, you know, they got that little bend to them. And both sides, I got the hole that was leaking patched up on one side, and then I just checked out the other side and fixed up a couple more holes. I got the link bars on here. I got them capped off, painted, the whole last set hole drilled, the airbag hole drilled. The airbags are up there hanging. Yeah, got all that done. So I'm gonna take a break now, and then I'm gonna come back later and put the rear end in and move on to the next parts of tightening everything up and hooking everything up. It's going good. Check it out, took off the brake line. Check out that fitting. I've never seen these fittings put on brake lines before. A little strange. I think these things are like made for like rubber hoses or something. I don't even think they're made for metal. I don't know how that's with sealing, but it definitely probably wasn't sealing. So, yep, time to get some new brake lines. Alright, probably should have filmed it, but I did it. I cut a new tranny crossmember, went and designed it. It's a little hot right now, but pretty cool. Designed it on CAD real quick, cut it, and then I had to cut a little bit right there, heat the shit up out of this thing, and then bend it over. So the bolt fits. There it is. See, the bolt fits. So that's all that matters. Bit fits and turns. Fits, turns. That's all that has to happen there. Transmission mount's gonna go on top of that. And then that one has a little bit of adjustability this way. This one has a little bit, hair bit adjustability this way. It's just a hair, just to wiggle it in there. And then we got 1/2 inch bolts out here. And so I'll just have to center this up, mark these holes, drill them on both sides, and that'll be our tranny crossmember. Oh man, it's hot. There it is. That'll be our tranny crossmember. It'll stand up like that. Bolts will go through the crossmember that's already on there, like that. And then the tranny mount will go up through here and be right there. Let's see, tranny mount. Let's see here. So you get an idea. Tranny mount will go right there like that. And see how it just lowers it that little bit. It was up here before. It was like up here. And we're just trying to get it a little bit lower, like 3/4 of an inch. It's a lot better than. Oops. It's a lot better than what this one was. It's a little off over here, a little off over here, so it's a little crooked. And then if you look at it like right here, you see that this is a lot shorter gap than this over here. So as you can tell, the tranny was over here, not centered. So once I get that other one centered, we'll mark it, we'll drill it, and that'll look a lot better. Fucking should be a lot stronger too. This is a 1/4 inch thick metal, sitting up straight. Shouldn't ever bend with this little angle iron piece they put in there. I'll probably put some little bit of weld right here. It just ended up really, it's hot as heck. Ended up really tight on the bottom. I don't really think I need to put a weld, but if anything, I'll put it up to like maybe right in here. Maybe put a little gap in here and a little over here, just so the bolts don't hit it in the middle of those bolts. But yeah, this tranny crossmember should be pretty straight. And it's a little bowed, but I can straighten that out right now before I put it on. I'll straighten it all out, make sure it's completely straight. Drill these holes, bolt it all up. Tranny crossmember done. Nice. A lot better than that hunk of shit, like I said. And the tranny will be a lot better than that. This is like a spring situation going on here. It's not really an idea. Oh, I wasn't even welded on the bottom. Look at that. See that move there? Wasn't even welded. Very good. Oh, there you go. See that? Wasn't even welded. But yeah, it's gonna be totally straight down, and means the drive shaft will be straight in the tunnel, so it won't hit on the side no more. And then I can start on the floor. I just didn't want to start on the floor with the drive shaft hitting the floor already. It's like, you know, it's already hitting the floor where it's not supposed to be. So why should I? As you can see, that's where it was real close on the one side. It's real far on the other. The floor is actually cut up in there too. Oh, in the front, you see the front right above the transmission. It's cut there already. I don't know why, but it's already cut there. So yeah, we're gonna get it over centered as possible, and then we'll have a lot better idea of where we need to make it fit up in the drive shaft tunnel. Excuse me. But yeah, everything else is in here. Airbags are in. They don't have to be fully extended for it to be all the way up. The shocks are in. They're looking good. I actually have too much pressure on them. They're kind of rubbers are putting too much pressure on the rubbers, but it's all good. So like I said, I still might have to make some little brackets for these because I kind of don't like how they're just hanging around like that. So I might cut some little brackets and put some little brackets on top of these so that they're solid. And yeah, it's going together. But mainly getting that transmission cross member in. I got the fuel line over here on this side already all fixed up. It goes up over around, and still gotta fix it up a little bit right here and maybe shorten it or something. I don't know what they got going on right here with this little fucking T for some reason, but it is what it is. I'll try to fix it up. And then the brake line, I'll probably go grab the brake line in a little bit once I settle down a little bit more before I go in for the night. I'll probably go get the brake line, and I'm gonna make the brake line go up, bend, come. Hold on, gotta do mosquito spray. Already bit me once on both arms. Oh god, I hate mosquitoes. Alright, so I think I showed you guys the transmission cross member we made last night. Took out this old one. It's way off. I don't know if you can tell. It's hard to tell measurements in videos, but it's way longer over here and it's way shorter over here. And so put the new one in. Let's climb up under here. Oh man, it's been fun climbing up and in and out of here. Okay, so there's the new one. Got big 1/2-inch bolts in there. 1/2-inch bolts. And look how centered that is now. You can tell it's like off a little bit on the floor, but it's centered in the chassis right there, so that's all that matters. It has adjustments on the tranny mount if it needs to move, but it's pretty much set right now. Perfect. And it's crazy because it wasn't bolted tight before. It had like a gap, and this thing right here was like underneath the tranny mount or something. I think that was the problem why it had a gap. They didn't take the clip off, put the mount on, and then put the clip back on. So I did that. But yeah, looking pretty centered now. A lot better. So now we won't be hitting this. We were way over here. We were way over here. That's crazy. So yeah, we're still a little close on this one, but that should help a lot more now. So we're not hitting as bad as before. So now I gotta head and take to get the brake lines. This size brake line, I think it's 7/16 or something, to go up, over, and then touch the frame, and then we're gonna go back down to the back, and we'll have a little hose for the back. Yeah, I'm gonna go grab that real quick. The hose place, I thought they closed kind of later, but they closed really early yesterday, so I gotta head out there early today and get those hoses. We gotta get one air line to extend some air line, and then some brake line and a brake hose. So be back in a little bit to put all that on and keep continuing on. But transmission, oh yeah, the transmission looks a lot better angled now. Now it's pretty freaking level now. It's like a little leaning, but it's not as bad as it was. It was leaning like crazy before, and yeah, so now it shouldn't. Hopefully that should help solve any more leak issues it has, because it was leaking like crazy. Wherever that pan is, it's leaking like crazy. So that's all just from sitting here leaking. Oh, look at that, drip right in front of us. But hopefully it stops that now, or continues to slow down and stop it. You might want the engine raised up a little bit in the front and straightened out, because like I said, the motor's just a little down on the one side. But for right now, that's looking a lot better than it was. A lot better. All right, I'm out. I gotta go get these parts. I gotta do a little cleanup, glue it all out, nice and clean. Now it's set fresh. Okay, I'm gonna get these brake lines done. All right, I want 2 pieces made. Got that one made for the rear end. Got this one made for the line up on the frame. Oh, I didn't make it. I went and cut this one off my my parts truck in the back, my 720s parts truck. So got a little base. I'm gonna have to draw this out and see if I can make this pattern for future builds. When I need these, I'm gonna have to be able to cut these out. So I'm gonna have to draw this little template out real quick before I use it. But yeah. Get some light going going on there. Oh, this one's pretty good. See, oh, kinda. Got that bracket on there. I got my little bracket on here. So our brake line will go up through there. I just found a clip for the brake line because it didn't come with one. And then a bolt for this guy with a locking washer and a little nut. So we'll get those mounted. And I can put the brake line to it and tighten it up and start like more fitting it better. And I have to make some, or get some kind of little clips or something to hold it to the frame so it's not just rattling on the frame. Yeah, I have a bunch of hose clamp pieces, whatever they're called, that came with it. These little guys everywhere on this car. There's still a couple up here on the ceiling, on the floor. I mean, there's still some up there, so got a bunch of those I can use probably, or if not, I'll make something else, figure something else out. Yeah, I'll get that brake line hooked up, then I can start working on these back ones next. All right, check it out. Got one done. Nice, spin it around, comes through here, comes over to the shocking way. Go to this fitting. Nice. That's pretty good. See from my angle, it's real good. And then I had it kind of loop down so it stays out of the way of the C-notch in the frame. You don't want to pinch in between any of that or anything, so it's way away from that. Same thing we'll have to do this other side. Just get it way down low and then come across. And then we'll probably either go up over or down under. Probably go down under and maybe put a couple little tabs or something somewhere to hold it. But it's getting there. One done. It's looking so nice. Nice. Alright guys, check out that. Nice brake line. Bent. Down around the pumpkin. Over to the little T. Looks pretty good. I'm going to make little sheet metal, like how the original axles have like little sheet metal holders, like just a tack weld. You just tack weld a little sheet metal thing onto the axle and it'll like hold it on. I'm gonna do that right there, and then over on the other side, and then one on the other side of the T. So that's 4 of them, but it's gonna hold it to the axle real nice and snug and keep it from rattling, but looks good. Alright, so got the clips done. Gonna put these on the axle to hold the brake lines in place. And so just go like that, weld them on both sides of this little bracket, and should hold it in place perfectly fine. Alright guys, getting back up in here and mounting those brake line, making that brake line mounted. I was able to find some clamps, and I found some bolts that fit these we call it thread inserts. So we'll put 2 thread inserts in and mount 2 of these so that the brake lines aren't rattling. I'll put one over here and I'll put one over there on that side, and that should hold it fine. Keep that done. Our hole drilled, and I'll put the thread insert in there and get both of it up. See if you can see it from there. There we go, got a thread insert in there. Now we're going to put a clamp on there, put a bolt in. Hopefully we didn't mess up the threads any. Looking good. And just like that, tighten that up and got it away from everything. Nice. And a little rubber thing. I might actually have to grab a 3/8 one. This is a, or actually this is a 3/8 one. Yeah. Let's see, do I have any small ones? Nope, that's the only ones I have. I'll tap them to get a little tighter, but tighten them up. Get that other one on there, up front, and we'll be good. Looking good, guys. Getting the brakes all done. Got the brake line mounted from there. Over, got the little mount back there. And it comes up over this little guy. And then another mount screw right there. Up to the other mount, all nice and solid. Solid back to the bolt. And then brake line's nice, mounted with the nice new clips. Just hold it in place and it's all good. Nice and good looking. Alright, now I could put the wheels on and probably set it on the ground now. I was gonna make things for these brake lines, but really I'm already making way too many things for this car. The brakes worked before fine, so it should work fine now. But if it has any issues, I'll let them know that I can make them some little mounts for right here to the top of the trailing arms so that they stay stronger. But for right now, I'm just gonna leave them because that's how they were, and put the wheels on it and set it on the ground. and start checking out the inside on what I need to do with the sheet metal. And I might go buy a shrinker stretcher because I seen one online and I need a shrinker stretcher, so I might go buy a shrinker stretcher later and use it to help me do nice curves in the floor. Oh man, it's so hard to get out underneath that car. I don't want to lift it back up. My cylinder went out on my lift, so it's leaking out all the fluid over there, if you can tell. But yeah, time to put some wheels on it and set her down. So we'll check out all what we need to do in here with the sheet metal. Looking good, looking good. You can see that drive line looks a lot straighter now than before. In the last shot I did of it, it's a lot more straighter. Now you can just tell it comes over a little bit for the pumpkin because drive shafts are usually a little bit off. So there we go, looking good. All right, you gotta get to watch me in my short.
Too bad. Go back. That a little bit. Center it when I put it in. I just put it in, so we'll see how that goes. Well, we should pull it down again. Actually, I'll center your end first. Yeah, let it down a little bit. Alright, throw everything down. Okay. Watch over here. Down, but down on the ground for sure. It's up on the lift still. I'll have to get some more blocks to see how really low it would go. Left. Close. We'll go back up and get some bark. Still not all the way down. Gotta go here a bit more. Gotta go about like another inch. I have to get some 2x4 blocks now. See what I got. I'll be right back. Alright guys, there she is. On the ground. Gotta put a couple blocks under her to get her to get off the lift. But that's it. She's gonna be low. Maybe freaking barely off the ground pretty much. Front's gonna be all the way down, but front tires are going a little low too, but it's looking good. It's gonna be low, low, low. Time to start working on the sheet metal and getting her all dialed in so we can get the air ride all back in there and get her going up and down by herself. Let's see how the brake lines are hitting nothing. Oh no, they're way far away. Way far away. Nice. Check out from the front and see if they're not hitting anything up there. Can't see. I'm gonna have to do the field test. Oh yeah, totally way far away from it. Perfect. That's awesome, guys. This thing is looking good. Yeah, I wish we could get a better shot, but we don't got enough room in here. Let's see. There we go. Nice shot. It's gonna be low.